up, Sauce Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats here with a very special reaction for you. I know you guys have been waiting all week for this because last week we checked out Odd1sOut for the very first time, and hands down the comment that happened the most was I had to check out their Sooubway series. Sounds a lot like Subway, but their Sooubway series. So here we are checking out the first one, Work Stories, Sooubway. Now all I know, chat, is I'm in love with this animation style, their sense of humor, and the way they put a story together. So I can only fathom how this story, Work Stories, is gonna go. But before we jump into it, show them some love by subscribing to their channel. And if you enjoy my reaction, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. But enough talking. Let's get to reacting and roll that bomb message.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot Sauce Beats. Woo woo. Oh, it's going down. Let's go.
I think that everyone at some point in their life should work in a fast food or retail job. Not to improve their work ethic or anything, but so that everyone knows what it's like to have that kind of job. They wouldn't.
It's HE double hockey sticks. I've had a lot of food jobs, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Godfather's, and I didn't work at Subway, but I worked at this place. It's called Quiznos. Very similar. They make sandwiches, but they're shut down now, but it's terrible. Literally the worst job ever.
Wouldn't work in fast food their whole lives,
take their
maybe
sandwiches
just like
serious.
for 6 months, just so they get a feel for it.
Just
So with
6
that,
months.
let's talk about the time when I worked in fast food. I used to work at a very small local sandwich shop. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called Sooubway.
I mispronounced it. Sooubway. Not Sooubway, and not Subway, but Sooubway.
Spokesperson was in the news recently. I don't know if you guys look at the news. Did you hear he got beat up in jail? I kind of want to meet the person who beat up Jared more than Jared. Not in person. We wouldn't meet in...
I did not know Jared got beat up in prison. I mean, the dude belongs to be in prison for a very long time, but I didn't know that happened.
Person, obviously. But like, he would be behind bars, and I would just look at the guy who beat up my spokesperson. How many people get to say that they beat up a fast food icon who is also a pedophile? Only one, and it's that
Dude,
guy.
sick.
Okay, but seriously,
Dude,
guys,
sick.
working at Subway was probably one of the most easiest jobs out there. I don't know why I'm about to complain about it to you guys. We got free cookies. And you know the comic with the Subways in Hell? I was actually working at Subway when I made that comic. I just think it adds sort of a little bit of value to it. You see, the owners who
I enjoyed it so much that it reminded me of hell.
were husband and wife, can you believe it, of the Subway I worked at owned 2 stores. One of the Subway stores was in a Walmart on an Indian reservation, because we have those in Arizona, and the other Subway was the Subway I worked at. And since the Walmart store was always busy, the owners would spend 99% of their time at that store. So I didn't really have a boss most of the time. On the off chance the owners did show up, they would just pick up some food and then they would make sure I was making sandwiches the right way. And
It's like, okay.
every time I made a sandwich in front of them, they would always find something wrong with it, without fail.
Oh,
They
that'd
put
be
on
so
too many
annoying.
olives. Do you know, according to the Subway form,
I'll tell you, that is a massive pet peeve of mine, which is I'm glad, obviously I'm not in food industry anymore. Like I work in HVAC, so I fix furnaces and ACs. I can't stand when people watch me work. Massive pet peeve.
formula, you're only supposed to put on 8 olives on a foot long? 8! One for every other bite. That's just
6.
ridiculous. Can you imagine someone just counting out 8 olives? Nobody does that. I usually worked the closing shift, and at the end of the night, we would turn the alarm and we have 60 seconds to get out of the store. But one time I had the opening shift, so I unlocked the door to get in with my key, and the alarm went beep, beep, meaning I had 60 seconds to turn it off. No big deal, right? I've turned the alarm on all the time when I was closing. So I go to the little control panel, and I type in the code, and nothing happens. The beeping is still there, and the clock is still ticking down. So I go, okay, I'm going to press each button very carefully. I'm going to make sure each button makes a beep when I press it. Beep, beep, beep. Nothing still happens. So I go, okay, I'm going to make sure to press each button very carefully. And I start thinking, did they change the passcode without telling me? Well, this is the only passcode I know, so we're just going to try it again. And I press each button very carefully.
Oh, I see what it. You got too big of a hand, fam. That you can't push buttons with that hand. You know, I mean, I got fat fingers, so I understand that. But you got a nub. You know, like you can't fist bump the keypad. That's what's going on.
Carefully. beep, 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 and it goes quiet. And then the alarm goes off. I still had like 20 seconds left. But I guess when you get it wrong 3 times, it automatically assumes that you're a burglar. So while the alarm is going off, I look on the contact sheet for the owner's cell phone number. I step outside, I call him, and he doesn't pick up. So I go back inside, find the number for the other Subway store. They open an hour before we do. Someone picks up with their stupid voice. Oh, thank you for calling Subway. I'm blah, 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 blah. How may I help you?
Shut up! Just zip it! Zip it! My alarm's going off! I need help! ASAP!
And I go, hey, is Mike there? That's not his real name, guys, don't worry. And they go, just a minute. Yeah, sure, I have all the time in the world. The cops might be on their way, but take your time. So, Mike picks up. Yellow. Hey, Mike, this is James. What's the passcode for the alarm? Who is this? It's James. What's the passcode? What are you doing there, James? Why aren't you answering the question? I have the opening shift. Is the alarm going off? Yeah, no one told me the new code. Yeah, we changed it. It's the last 4 digits of your social security number. Oh, okay, thanks, Mike. I don't know my social security number. So I finally get the alarm off. No one showed up, thankfully, which I actually don't know if that's a good thing or not. No.
That's totally not a good thing. What? I mean, good thing for you, bad thing for the company.
That I say it out loud. We did have a store manager who would like make the schedule and sometimes tell us, hey, can you guys do a better job at your job?
You know, I just noticed, you see the little smiley, is that supposed to be a tattoo? Or does he just put like little Easter eggs in here? That's so funny.
But other than that, she was cool. She watches my videos and so do her little brothers. They're big fans. Shout out to Ivan and Andy. Those are the brothers. So get this, at Subway, you only work with one other person. Just you and them in an empty Subway for 5 hours. I mean, we weren't like empty all the time, okay? And when you're not making sandwiches, you have other stuff to do, like stocking the chips or we had stuff to do. But okay, we did watch a lot of Netflix and do homework, so I mean, that other person you worked with would make or break your entire shift. It wasn't the...
That is an understatement. Working with someone you dislike and you find annoying makes a shift 1,000,000 times worse. That you just want to bash your face into the cement wall repeatedly. Until you don't remember that shit.
The annoying customers. I kind of got used to annoying customers. So I worked with a lot of crappy people. And I also worked with a lot of people who I would probably never become friends with except in a work setting. You see, you gotta understand the type of people who got jobs at Subway. Potheads. Most of them are potheads. And some of them are really cool. I'm just gonna go over a couple of the characters that I worked with. There was Tyler. I freaking love this guy. He smoked a lot of weed. He actually taught me what vaping was, and he got me into Clash of Clans. I actually mentioned him and his girlfriend in my riddles video. I don't know if I ever told him that. And of course, I have to mention Corey. He was cool. We watched How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix, and I've also hung out with him outside of work. What him and Tyler had in common is that they would actually do their job, which you gotta appreciate. Then there was this guy.
For real.
Get this, who was also named Jared. He loved marble, and that's like the only thing he would talk about. I can say these things.
He didn't work.
He doesn't watch my videos.
I'm guessing the dude did not work. A lick of work. Not a single lick.
There was Sarah. She was cool. She made me a bread bowl. And her boyfriend, Jay. He talked about chakras and third eyes. He was interesting. And also, there's Anthony. He's cool. What's up, Anthony? For the 100,000 sprinkles video, I actually went back to Subway to use their scale because I knew they had one. And we counted 500 sprinkles again just to be more accurate for the 100,000. And Anthony helped me count instead of working. I mean, at least he got paid minimum wage for it. So 2 more stories before I go. One time, Jared asked me to take out this pile of trash, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put this pile of trash in the dumpster. And as I was taking it out, I saw that there was a chip poster in the pile, and I thought, this is too cool to throw away. I'm gonna keep it. So I took it home with me, and then the next day when I went in, people were saying, oh, where's the chip poster? We can't find the chip poster. We haven't seen it anywhere. And I'm thinking, I have the poster. I decided not to tell anyone that I had the poster. And it's still hanging up in my room. Sorry, boss, if you're finding out about this now. Okay, and then the other story, I was working with a
I mean, it was in the trash, so it was fair game, 100%.
manager, and we were just making sandwiches like usual. And I noticed that when we toasted a sandwich, it would burn the paper a little on the edges. That probably shouldn't be happening. So then a customer asks for just bacon toasted. And the boss lady puts some bacon on paper and then puts it in the toaster. And we don't have a setting for just bacon. So then when she opens the toaster, there was a fire on the bacon.
Bro.
So then she starts to whack it with the little metal tray thing, but all she ended up doing was fanning the flames, making the fire bigger. You got this, right? Then I went in the back and I got the fire extinguisher and I actually used it. I single-handedly
that's
saved
awesome.
that Subway.
That's fun to do.
Wait, what have I done? Is it okay if the bacon's a little crispy and has nitrogen and carbon dioxide stuff on it? Wow, I didn't
Delicious.
even mention a single bad customer experience.
Let's
Well,
go.
I don't want the video to be too long. I should make a part 2. I'm gonna make a part 2 and it's just gonna be stories about annoying customers
Or about a part 3 and a part 4.
that I had to deal with. And if anyone I used to work with is watching and I didn't mention you, it's because I hate you. I think
Yes. All right, chat. Hold on. Let me bring you in. Let me bring you in. So I got a little fact for you. So, the first Subway or the first sandwich shop to actually bake their sandwiches or toast them was Quiznos. That was the thing that made Quiznos this big deal. They had this conveyor belt, right? That you like put your sandwich on, it rolled through it and baked it. Subway used to not actually bake their sandwich. And then they saw Quizno do this and they're like, what? This is genius. So then Subway started doing it and Quiznos is like, what? And then Quiznos saw their profits go, what? And then Quiznos shut down because Subway stole their idea. I'm sorry, Sooubway stole their idea. Fam, this was pretty epic. I am absolutely in love with this channel. The way that they tell stories, it just makes it so relatable. You can 100% put yourself in their shoes, whether or not you've worked in there, which I haven't worked in Subway, but I worked in Quiznos. Ooh, I choked on my own spit there. You guys almost saw me die. No, on a reaction to Odd1sOut. Anyways, sorry for that. I almost died, but I'm alive. I'm still alive. But I worked for Quiznos, so a lot of the stories were relatable. I'm really stoked to hear the second one to see what they got to say about some crazy customers. Because chat, I got some crazy customer stories. So I think I'll probably save that for when we watch episode 2. I had an absolute blast. Let me know what are some other episodes from Odd1sOut that you want me to react to other than the Sooubway series. And we're probably going to make that happen. But make sure you show them some love by subscribing to their channel. And if you enjoyed my reaction, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. Enjoy the rest of your evening and remember, it's eat, sleep, and make beats. As usual, be kind to one another. And that's all I got. Boom, I'm out. Got on my love for the Sauce Gang. Peace. God, I got the hiccups on the outro. I choked on my spit. I don't know why. My body does not like it when I do outros, apparently.